outside, and I gotta get my camera all set up because, man, it's been a while since we've been out here. Is everybody doing good? I feel like spring is in the air. It smells like it. You've got that earthy, moist smell in the air, and it's just fantastic. So I've got a couple of things that I want to do out here today. I'm going to be dividing up some cuttings and putting them in different cups and containers and trying to organize them in a way that I'll remember what they are, because what is it, like the world's gardeners tell themselves many lies, right? And one of them is that I'll totally remember what this is. That's not true. It's not true. Or at least for me, I never remember what it is that I've planted or that I've done a cutting of unless I write it down immediately. There's never any remembering. So let's see. I know I've got some elderberry in here. And then I've got some Nanking cherry. And I am drying on my water thing. That's great. With permanent no less. Okay, so let's see. Got some blueberry. And I think it's pink blueberry, actually. So I gotta put that on there. So pink blueberry, and then willow from my weeping, not willow, weeping, my weeping pussy willow. So now the weeping pussy willow is definitely a grafted plant. So this is not gonna come out just like my weeping pussy willow would. Like the parent one looks, it's not going to be just like that, but it is going to be a willow of sorts, and it's going to be a pussy willow of sorts, and we'll find out what it looks like. And any way that it looks, I'm happy with, because I really love my pussy willows. Okay, and I am going to need fresh water. I guess I can use this, can't I? So we're going to pour some. There we go. That's good. And I still have some for me. How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day. It is beautiful outside, so we're outside today, and I am organizing my cuttings, which I took maybe a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm not exactly sure, but hello. Good to see you. Glad you're here with us. It's a beautiful day to be outside. I should get you guys a little bit closer because I can hardly see you. There we go. Okay. I can tell elderberry because it's got these really pretty little wispy leaves right there. So I am going to be sticking those in the elderberry jar. And they're mostly, they almost look like they have freckles on the stems. Do you guys see that? So that's elderberry. And some of them are doing stuff and some of them are not. Well, so I guess this one is. Look at that. It's got a little bit of a little tiny nub coming up. Can you see that? It's growing. Things are happening. So the nice thing about cuttings is if you've got the mother plant, you can take so many of them that at least one should work, right? And then you end up with a free plant. Or maybe all of them work, and then you end up with a ton of free plants, and you can either sell them or give them to friends. Or you just plant a ton of new plants, which is great. So I might need another jar for my elderberry because these are all doing things. This is the one that is not. But look at these. They're doing so good. I'm so excited about them. Are you guys enjoying the day? I hope you guys are able to get outside today. I hope that it is warm and spring-like where you are, because this is just the best on the planet. I am enjoying this so much. I have been waiting for spring-like weather for too long, it seems like. It seems like. And at the same time, it almost feels like it's been a really short winter. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but that's what's happening. Okay. I need more jars, don't I? So they should be forming roots soon. Look at this one. This one's doing it. So we've got the little elderberry shoot right there, and then there's a little root coming out now that's been stuck in there. In the 20s in Chicago, very nice weather. Oh my goodness. I grew up in northern Wisconsin, and I remember thinking that the 20s was like super warm. So I get it. I still wish you could have this though. This is really, really wonderful. Man, Bengal, wow. 1 a.m. Yeah, so maybe not a great time to go out and enjoy the sun if it's 1 a.m., but at least maybe you're having spring weather during the day, maybe? Yeah, I'm so not used to the sun that I've been inside all day. That the glare is getting to me. But I think I'm gonna spend the rest of the day outside for sure. This is just too nice. I need to stop with the elderberry. There's too many. Okay, so I'm thinking that my green branches are blueberries. My baby's pointing at me. I think that the greener branches are blueberries. But again, like the number one lie that we tell ourselves as gardeners is that we'll remember what we did, right? And I have no idea. I have an idea. Let's not say I have no idea, but it's kind of gonna, other than the elderberry, I think it's gonna be, I plant these and kind of see what happens kind of thing. So, but I know the Nanking cherries very well because the Nanking cherries, I cut them, they were in dormancy, and now they're even blooming. Isn't that so pretty? It is so pretty. Ah. I love Nanking cherry. I'm gonna pull that out because I've got a whole bunch of those. I would like to cover my whole yard in Nanking cherries. The bush cherry is just like, cherry trees are often very disease prone, but bush cherries are so hardy and they bloom so beautifully, and they are low to the ground so that you can get the fruit really easily. You don't have to worry about them growing so high up that you can't reach them. And it is just, they're delicious. They're delicious. You got to remove the pit, but that's about it. Yes. Look at those. I can't believe we're getting flowers. I know they're forced flowers, and I know that they are, they wouldn't be blooming right now if they were outside, but it's still exciting. Okay, so this is Nanking and this is blueberry. Whew. I think this is blueberry too. How's this one doing? This one's got some buds coming on. That's exciting. This could also very easily be the pussy willow. I don't know. I don't know. I think this is blueberry. I think the really delicate ones are the blueberry ones. The elderberry is obviously doing really, really well. And so elderberry is like one of those plants where you could basically like take a cutting of it and just stick it in the ground next to the tree or the bush, and it will grow basically. So really, really easy to start new ones from cuttings, which is cool. A lot like raspberries and blackberries. So we are here. Thank you. We are in central western Virginia. We're in the Appalachian Mountains, and it is like high 50s. It's got to be like 55, 57 degrees, and I am enjoying it so much. I started doing live streams outside, and then the weather turned and it got to be winter, and that was very sad. But now the weather is turning again, which is so wonderful. Especially since this is a gardening channel. I love gardening. I love being outside. I love fruit. I love flowers. I love bulbs, all of the things. And so I am very excited that spring is coming. So excited. I've got to figure out what I've got in my pot though. I don't know what's in here. See, I've got so many. I don't know why I thought that I would be able to know or tell what the different branches were. I think I had too much hope in myself. Gosh, this is hard. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should just go take a cutting of my pussy willow and then see, like, compare them so that I know. Hi. Oh, so what we are, so I'm outside my house. We live on a homestead. It's about, there's a family lives here. So we've got grandparents and aunts and uncles and stuff like that. And they live in houses dotted around. But there's about 100 acres that we have access to between the whole family. And so I have a food forest that I grow with lots of pollinator flowers, but the main thing is fruit. And so I grow a lot of fruit trees. I grow a lot of fruit bushes like blueberries and currants and gooseberries and things like that. And then there's the herbaceous level with lots of herbs. And then there's the ground cover, which has like strawberries and blueberry ground cover, which I only just learned there is a blueberry ground cover. Usually blueberries grow in a bush, and so I only just learned about this year, so I'm pretty excited. I have it in my cart. I'm going to order that this spring, I hope. I hope that's going to be coming, and so I'll be able to start that. But ground covers of things like cranberries and bearberries and or otherwise known as uva ursi and elderberry, all the things. Anyway, it's a perennial food forest. And then we have a flower garden and an herb garden, and we do some vegetables, but not too much. So, oh, absolutely, yes. So there are several venomous snakes in the area. We have the rattlesnake, the eastern diamondback rattlesnake. We have the copperhead. There's the cottonmouth. I think it's just those three, actually, that are venomous in our area. But what we do to combat that is we have black snakes on our property, and we encourage the black snakes to live here by letting them have chicken eggs and giving them areas that they would like to live. So we kind of create habitats for them. And so if we find a black snake anywhere on the property, we'll kind of bring it to the habitat that we created for it so that it can kind of feel at home and maybe stay. And black snakes are amazing because they're immune to the venom of the venomous snakes, and they hunt them. They like to eat them. And so the black snakes will go after the venomous snakes. And ever since we started trying to create a good environment for the black snakes, who are very docile and friendly. My husband picks them up all the time and lets my kids pet them. Ever since we've done that, the venomous snakes have kind of disappeared. We've seen them every once in a while, but not a whole lot. And it's definitely something that you don't want to have in your yard when you've got little toddlers running around. So we have not had a problem with those for a long time. So this is really cool. So this is Virginia. We're in the Appalachian Mountains, central western Virginia. And right? They're super cool. I love the black snakes. I love the black snakes. And they're just beautiful. And it's interesting. I was in my food forest last year, and I was just you know, puttering around, and my daughter was like, "Oh, look, Mom." And she pointed, and there was one like hanging in the mulberry bush, and it was up in the tree. It was going after like a bird's nest or something. And that was just really cool. But I see them in the trees, I see them on the ground, and it's cool because black snakes, in order, if they feel threatened, they'll pretend to be a rattlesnake, and they'll rattle their tails, and it doesn't really sound like anything except for they'll hit it on like a rock or a twig or a branch or the ground, and so it almost sounds like a rattle because they're tapping on something, and it's disconcerting. It's very disconcerting when you see it, but I just think they're the coolest things in the world. And so usually they'll have like a whiter tummy. Uh, and sometimes you have to be a little bit careful because we have had a rattlesnake on the property that was a black rattlesnake. And it did have the diamonds, but they were so dark that it looked like a black snake. But when you're dealing with the venomous snakes versus the non-venomous snakes, usually the venomous snakes will have kind of a triangular arrowhead type head, and the non-venomous snakes will just kind of have a oval type head. And so, and the eyes are different. The eyes are circular on the non-venomous, and then they're cat-like on the venomous snakes. And so it's not like you want to get close enough to see what their eyes look like if you're worried that it's a venomous snake, but you can kind of tell from the shape of their head. But yeah, we don't want to mess around with them too much, but it's it's interesting. Yeah, they are very good at camouflage, except for especially for the copperheads, which is unfortunate because they're ambush predator and they don't warn you. I almost feel like the rattlesnakes are nicer because they're warning you, hey, get away from me. But the copperheads, they're just like, they're vindictive. They'll chase after you, which is really horrifying. Anyway, and the water moccasins too. And water moccasins, a lot of people think of them as being this dark black, almost sometimes like a gray color with the white mouth. They're the only snake that has the white mouth, hence the name cottonmouth, right? But when they're young, they look like copperheads, and so it's hard to tell if you're coming across a copperhead or a cottonmouth because they look so similar. But the cottonmouth is the only one that will open its mouth and just kind of like raise up its head and kind of like wave that white mouth at you. And so that's how I know I saw a copperhead one time, because that's what it did to me. And it was floating on top of the water. But copperheads also swim, because why not? Why not make it even more dangerous, right? Exactly. They're the Marines. Oh, I got to figure out what I've got here. So I have green. I have green twigs, and I don't know what that is. It looks, it's acting like the elderberry, but I don't think I cut any green elderberry. Oh, it's rose. It's rose. Oh, I remember. Okay. Okay, so the green, this is so exciting, guys. So I took cuttings of my thornless rose bush, which is just beautiful. It's got these really pretty white flowers on them, and they're very pungent. I love the smell of roses. Oh, I forgot that I had done that. Oh, I'm so glad that we're doing this. Okay, so the roses are growing too. Oh, thank goodness I remembered that. For goodness sakes. Okay, I need to go see my weeping pussy willow and see if what that looks like. I'm gonna take you with me and see if I can figure out which of my branches look like that. So roses. I'm so excited the snow is gone. Okay, goodness. Okay, so this is my weeping pussy willow. which it's so cool because if you look underneath, it's kind of like a hiding spot under there. In the summer, my kids hide under there and the cats hide under there. So I'm thinking that what I thought some of my blueberries were is actually the weeping pussy willow from the looks of this, and maybe even some of the elderberry. I'm gonna snap off a piece and bring it with me. Okay, so we've got this. So, have you guys ever taken cuttings before? This is one of my favorite things in the world to do because it's free plants, and plants are expensive, especially if you're buying bushes. Bushes are like ridiculously expensive. Okay, let's see if I can get you guys lower so I can see you better. You're probably gonna see my cats jump up behind me at some point. Let's see if I can get my tripod to go down. Sorry, guys. Okay. Tighten that up. Okay. That's better. That's better. I can see you guys. Don't buy anything. I know, right? If you've got the plants, you shouldn't have to buy a thing because it should be free at this point. Hi. This is easier. Okay, so now I've got roses and I figured out this is my weeping pussy willow. So I think, oh my goodness. I should have marked, especially between the blueberry and the pussy willow, which one was which. Maybe they'll have different leaves when they pop out. But at the moment, I cannot tell the difference. So I think I'll put all the ones that I can't tell, I'll put them into the blueberry one. And then I'll put my roses into the weeping pussy willow because I forgot that I cut those, and so I don't have enough jars for all of my cuttings. So I need a place for my roses. That's one of my favorite things about the food forest too, is you can get a really cool bush or tree or plant or something, and then you can take cuttings and then you just fill up the rest of your property from it. I mean, one branch from my Nanking cherry over there, and I got like 50 cuttings off of it, which is so wonderful. So very, very wonderful. Okay. Pretty sure these are, no, this is, for goodness sakes, it couldn't be harder to tell them apart, could it? Does this look like a rose? It does not. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick those in there. And then all my little ones. I need more Nanking cherries though, because I really would like to put them all over the property, literally everywhere. My toddler loves eating the Nanking cherries too, and so if I want all my kids to be able to have the amount that they want, I need to have a lot of them. So, does it make a waterfall? What do you mean? What kind of waterfall are we talking about? Did I miss something? I might have missed something. Are you talking about the rock wall behind me? Okay, I think the rest of these, behind me are elderberry. I cut quite a few elderberry. I'm going to be going to a few festivals this summer, and I'm going to be selling my herbal products. So I make salves and perfumes and tinctures and things like that. And so I'm going to be selling those, but I'm also going to be selling any of the extra cuttings that I take that take root. And so I'd like to have a lot available because I know that a lot of people want these where we are, and they're a little bit hard to come by. So I've had to order from many different places to get the kinds of plants that I have. And I think that's it. Okay, so I think this is all elderberry in here. And then I think I've got elderberry in here. And then the beautiful Nanking cherries, which have these really beautiful flowers. So here you go. Here's some flowers for today, guys. Happy spring. Happy spring. Do you guys grow any fruit? If I order those blueberries, I'd like to order some more thornless blackberries and raspberries and black raspberries. Black raspberries are my favorite as far as the raspberry blackberry family goes. They're so delicious. I love black raspberries. And I need things to be thornless because I've got toddlers and a baby, and they are going to go in and try to eat everything, and I don't want them getting pricked. It just breaks my heart thinking about that. And it's all fenced off, so I don't have to worry about bears or any animals eating them. So the thorns are really great if you have wildlife trying to eat your stuff. But since it's all fenced off, I don't have to worry about that. I just want to have it easy and non-painful for my little ones to eat. So you're planting seeds right now? That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Isn't it exciting? I love spring so much. It's so exciting. I've got all my winter sown seeds out here. I don't know if you can see in the Ziploc bags, and I've got a bunch over there too. But when I did my second round of the winter sowing in the bags, there was about a foot worth of snow on the ground. And so I set them out here on top of the snow, and my cinder blocks that I was using to prop them up were buried below the snow. And so now finally everything's melted, and I can now rearrange everything and put the cinder blocks in a good spot so that they can prop up my seed bags. So excited for the winter sowing. Right? And then I don't know about you, but I tried doing it with the jugs for a while, but just having to keep those around until it was time to use them, they just take up so much space. And you can have 200 Ziploc bags and 2 little boxes and be ready to go. And basically, here, let me show you what I do. This is pretty cool. So for the winter sowing in the bags, I have them, well, these are propped up already, but these are not. These are the ones that I set out. But I use these sticks, and I kind of put them in the bags, and I use the cinder blocks to prop them up so that they don't collapse, and that the openings can stay open. So you can kind of see that there's these holes in them, and that lets in the rain and the snow, and then there's big gashes underneath so that the water can seep through and they can drain. And I've got them the cinder blocks are a little bit too close together. It's going to start shading them out, but when I first put them together, I had shorter sticks that I was using to prop them up, so they had to be closer. But now I've got the longer sticks that are about 3 feet long, so I can now spread out my bag or my cinder blocks so that my bags have more access to sunlight and the bricks aren't shading them. So hopefully they'll do better. Anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I've got a new baby, and I've got a 2-year-old who's about to be 3 soon, and my baby is actually at the glass door banging on it, pointing at me, talking. But I just don't have time. I am a busy person, and so I don't have time to do all the seed trays and the lights and the heating mats and watering them every day and taking up all that room in my house and making sure that the cats aren't getting in them and the toddler isn't getting in them. So the winter sowing is, if it doesn't grow in the winter bags or the Ziploc bags, I'm not growing it this year. This is my ride or die situation. If I want plants, they're in these bags basically. So I'd love to hear what you guys are planting. If you guys are planting seeds, or if you guys are doing any kind of cuttings, or I know early in the spring, a lot of people plant bulbs. I did a ton of bulbs, about 2,500 bulbs in the fall, and then I didn't do any fruit trees or any big stuff like that. But I'm going to do a couple of those this spring because I had a couple of cherry trees die on me, which is really sad. But they've been they died a couple years ago, and they've just kind of been taking up space, and I'd like to fill those spaces. We've got about 100 fruit trees here, and the cherries just struggle. And I realized just this week that I only have sweet cherries growing. I do have the bush cherries, which are fantastic, but I don't have any of the tart cherries, and those seem to be like the ones that do a lot better. Anyway, so I'm going to try to order a couple of the tart cherries. I think they're delicious too. I remember being a kid, and there was a cherry tree somewhere in the neighborhood, and we always just like ate the cherries. And then we also crab apples. Loved the crab apples. And everybody nowadays, they poo-poo them, you know, and I don't know, I loved them, and they were always filled with fruit, and I don't think that the owners really did a whole lot to take care of them. So why don't we have those? I do have two crabapple trees that I'm growing. They're both a Whitney crabapple, which is supposed to have some of the biggest crab apples, and they're supposed to be the most mild tasting, almost like a regular apple that you get at the store. But crab apples are so beautiful in the spring with all the blooms and the blossoms. And anyway, I'm rambling, but I think I'm gonna get a couple more apple trees, and I'm gonna get a couple of the tart cherries, and I'll plant those this spring. And then any of these cuttings. I have a nursery. I've discovered that this is really important for cuttings. Let me show you that too. So I'm just excited to be walking around. Such a pretty day. Can you guys see the sky? It's a little bit cloudy, but that blue is just stunning. It's stunning. So this is the nursery. I've got a black tarp over it, and my husband did shovel some snow in here. So on top of the black tarp, there is some gravel and dirt from the snow. But this spring, I'm going to take the black tarp off. It's been on there all last summer and all winter, and so all the weeds have been composted and are gone. Hopefully the soil is somewhat sterilized, and so it won't be too bad of a problem. And all the cuttings that I'm taking, I'm going to plant those out there so that they're going to be kind of in a raised bed almost. Well, I guess it is definitely a raised bed, but they're going to be more protected than me just sticking them out in the food forest or in the ground somewhere. And I'll be able to kind of baby them more, and I can put tarps over them if it gets to be a frozen night or something. Hey, Constance, good to see you. We missed you last week. And so I'm gonna have that as like the nursery, so I can baby my cuttings a lot, and I'm just gonna stick them in the ground and really take care of them and pay attention to them. We were organizing cuttings earlier, Constance. I've got some rose cuttings that are doing really well. If you can see, this is a thornless rose, and so we're trying to get these going. Hey, Stacy, hello. Hello. And then I've got this jar, which is two different things together. I'm not sure how to tell the difference between them. So I've got weeping pussy willow in it and blueberry, and I'm not sure which is which, but I'm sure once the leaves start coming out, I'll be able to tell the difference. So we're just gonna kind of keep these together. And then this is some Nanking cherry that we've got going, and look at, they've already got blooms. Isn't that so beautiful? Perfect on a day like today. And then this is all elderberry back here. So lots and lots of elderberry. And we were talking about how once they get really rooted and I can put them in some dirt, then the ones that take off well, I'll be able to bring to market, and then plant a bunch of them around the area, because who doesn't want more fruit, right? Free plants. It's my favorite. Free plants. So are you doing any cuttings, anybody? I want to know, did you guys plant bulbs? Are you preparing for spring? Did you plant bulbs in the fall, or did you plant some fruit trees? Or are you ordering some that you're going to be able to plant this spring? Did you start any seeds? What are you guys doing? What are you up to? I want to know. It's that time of year where we're planning and we're thinking and we're starting stuff. I've got a bunch of herbal products started in the house because I harvested a ton from my garden this fall, but I realized if I was going to bring a lot of these to market, that I needed a lot more than I normally get just for my family, and so I had to order some herbs. And I always order from Mountain Rose Herbs. If you guys are interested in that, I've got a link below, because they are the best and they have really, really good quality stuff. But I've got herbs infusing right now into tallow. That's what the project I'm working on right now is. I'm making some skincare salves or creams, and so things like chamomile, calendula, rose petals, and rose hips, comfrey, those types of things. Those are all infusing into tallow right now, and it's a really, really good tallow, high quality. I'm so excited. Super pure, doesn't even smell like animal at all, which is fantastic, and it's super clean. Got that down really good, and so those are infusing, and it's really smelling delicious in there. And I'm gonna start. I'm gonna be making like deodorants and mascara and perfume and sore muscle salves, and then tinctures for, if you need help getting to sleep at night, or if you have anxiety, or if you want a little boost to your libido or something like that, then a lot of those are cooking up right now, and they are infusing into their appropriate alcohol bases, which is, it looks like an apothecary inside. I love it. So, oh my goodness, it is absolutely the right time. And I was just talking to my husband that I was cutting his hair outside today. He has this really cool Viking type haircut where it's long on top, and he's got this big bushy beard, and then he's got tight shaved on the sides, and so I've got to shave the sides for him. And but I was telling him I gotta prune back my butterfly bush, and I was talking about doing a video on that because somebody was asking. I don't know. Oh, hello, thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, I got a book in the mail. I'm so excited. Oh, is it locked? I can just take that. I'm sorry. The baby keeps pushing on the door, so we locked the door so she can't fall through it. Our door doesn't latch properly. We don't want her fingers getting pinched at all. So I got a book. I wonder what book this is. Books are my favorite besides plants. Hello, Edwin, good to see you. If you're pruning shrubs, Constance, then you need to make sure you take some cuttings and get those in some water and have some free plants. I mean, if you're already doing the pruning, you might as well do it, right? This is so exciting. I love getting mail. Oh. I got a book. Yay! This is exciting. I've read this one on Kindle, and it was one of my favorite books I read. Really, really, really good. And so now I have it for my home library so that I can read it anytime I want. So this, in case you guys are wondering, The Serpent and the Wings of Night is a really good, it's kind of a romantasy, a fantasy. It's really good. I love fantasy novels. I am a fairy tale fantasy girl through and through. I don't know if you can tell by my name on here, Faye Hollow Homestead. I just love it. But yay! Oh my goodness! I'm so glad you subscribed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right? There's a theme. There's definitely a theme. And if one day I start dressing like I'm from a fantasy novel, then you'll know all my dreams have come true. In the meantime, it's jeans and a nice comfy sweater though, so. Clint, hello, good to see you. Glad you're here. Oh, we are enjoying the beautiful day, absolutely beautiful day. I hope you guys have been able to have some nice weather to come out. This is like the first weekend that's been nice out. We've had some nice ones, but then they've been raining, or it's been really nice, but there's snow everywhere and it's melting. But now it's actually like, it's like a really nice, beautiful day where I can actually sit out here and I don't have to worry about being covered in rain or snow. So, oh, you're in Pennsylvania. Oh, cool. We are so close. We are in Virginia, and we are in central western Virginia. We're close to West Virginia, but not quite there. So Appalachian Mountains, and we're near George Washington National Forest. So you probably know where that is. We go up by Pennsylvania a lot. My husband is Italian, and he's got a lot of family in New Jersey, and so we have to go through in Pennsylvania in order to get to New Jersey. So, no snow and I'm sorry. It's like, oh, it's going to be a great day, but there's snow. You know, I was thinking about it. I think the first snow of the year is just so exciting because it's like your house is all clean and it's everything is neat and orderly, and you're like, ooh, let's cook a nice meal. And so you cook a nice meal. Let's say like Thanksgiving meal, right? But then the snow comes, and that's like all the dirty dishes. So like cooking the meal was fun, and now you've got all the dirty dishes. You gotta like shovel the snow. You've gotta, it's making mud everywhere. The salt is getting everywhere. Everybody's clothes from the outdoors are inside, laying everywhere and getting everything wet. And so snow after the first snow is like trying to cook in a kitchen that has not had the dishes done. And that's what I think it's like. That's why the first one is really fun, because your kitchen was already clean. But now you're trying to cook in a dirty kitchen, and it's just not fun. So that's the best analogy I've come up with. So, yes, do you hear the rooster? Yes. Yes, in case anybody doesn't know, roosters do not crow just in the morning when the sun rises. In fact, a lot of my roosters crow in the middle of the night when there is no sun. They crow in the evening when the sun is going down, and during the afternoon, just to say hi to the sun. I think they like to crow at the stars too. So we are in Virginia. This is Appalachia. This is the central western part of Virginia. We've got our chickens have finally started laying again. For up until the winter solstice, from like October to winter solstice time, they usually don't lay a whole lot. They start slowing down, and they stopped altogether from November through December. But as soon as the winter solstice hit, like the next day, we got an egg, which is so cool. My mother-in-law got one on Christmas Day, so just a couple days after that. And then And then from then on, now we're getting 13 eggs a day almost. It's crazy and it's wonderful. And it's like finally, you know, we're feeding these chickens. Finally, they're producing for us again so we can have some eggs. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're here. My goodness. Oh, so man, I just got done organizing my cuttings, and then I was showing you guys my winter sewing Ziploc bags. There's more on that side. I don't know if you guys can see. Can you guys see? Everything's kind of winterized right now, so like the kids' toys are out here, but they're upside down, so it doesn't look good. But here's my winter bags, and then in each bag there's a different variety of plant or seed growing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't know where I'm going to find the time to do anything with them once it's time to plant, but I'm hoping that by then maybe my toddler will want to help me, maybe my girls will want to help me, because they are old enough now to do some help in the garden if they want to. I'm really excited because something's got to grow, right? And then I did a whole bunch of chaos gardening this year. I think if you've got kids, that's probably one of the most, and just in general, I think it's one of the best ways to sow a garden anyway. But just taking native seeds or seeds of any kind and just tossing them and letting what grows grow. And then they love growing together. Plants love a community. They don't like being separated by 6 inches and rows with bare dirt in between. They don't like that at all. So I think chaos gardening is the way to go. And it's so easy. You just take a handful of seeds and you toss them, and then you step on them. So is anything budding yet? The only things that are budding are the ones that I did cuttings of my Nanking cherry. Those are the only buds I have. But I do have, the Nankings will be the first ones up here to start budding. And I would assume that they're going to start probably in mid-March. And then the honeyberries are going to start soon too. The honeyberries or the haskaps are very quick to bud. They're the first fruiting plants in the food forest. If you early May is usually when you get the fruit from haskaps. And then the other thing, the moneywort, or is that what it's called, moneywort? I think that's what it's called. They look like they've got the dollars, silver dollars. They're moonwort, that's what it's called. In the food forest also is probably going to start blooming soon. Those are the first ones that I usually see coming up. But it is still mid-February. I got to remind myself it's like mid to end of February. So I can't get my hopes up too much, even though it's almost 60 degrees outside. Even though. Well, it's very chaotic. It's a very chaotic way of gardening. So it's actually a really well-named type of gardening, actually, because, oh my goodness, that sun is hitting me right there. Because you literally just like gather all your seeds together in one pile, right? You mix them all together and then you just toss them. And whatever grows, grows, and whatever doesn't, doesn't. And it's kind of a whatever happens kind of situation. So I actually kind of really liked the name, because it's very chaotic, and I like that. So, Lana, are you from Sydney, Australia? All the way from Sydney? That's really cool. That might be the farthest that we've gotten on the live stream today, is from Sydney, Australia. Or is it Sydney somewhere closer? Oh, man. I'll take you over here. I just want to keep walking today. I don't want to sit. I'll take my water. This is my butterfly bush that I've got to I'm gonna cut it all the way back. They grow in one season, almost that entire size is from one season, so. Okay, well, good night. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us while you did. So this is where I did my chaos seeding. What was it? It was like 2 days ago I did this. But if you can see, it's basically just dry dirt around here. We had a tree, there's the stump, and it got cut down last spring. And then my wonderful mother, for Mother's Day actually, went out with my kids and got me the sweeping cherry. And so this is gonna kind of be the crowning glory of this area here. And then I've got bulbs planted all around the edge of the rock wall here, and then I just tossed a ton of seeds, tons and tons of flower seeds. So there's my Cassian. So that is really exciting. And then below here, let's see. So below here I've got some forsythia growing. I like to keep it kind of contained because it will spread and go crazy. So if I have it up against a rock wall and then with lawn around it, we can mow around and they won't go crazy. But I do have some lilac growing on the edge right there. And then I have some lilac growing right here too. My house is right here, and eventually my bedroom window, because we're going to renovate at some point, my bedroom window is going to be right there, and I'm going to have lilac blooms right outside my window, which is very exciting. So this is the coop. This is the chicken coop. I don't know if you can see the ducks. Those are 3 of our ducks. We've got 5 more that live on the other side of the property. Hey guys, how are you doing? The white one is named Gilbert, and then the other 2 don't have names. Yeah. Anyway, they're really good ones. Ducks are really funny because you can hang out with them when they're babies and really baby them. I mean, like carry them in your pocket and feed them and give them baths and have a really close relationship with them. But then once they get to be this side, they run from you like they don't even know you, and it's a little disheartening. And then along the line here, I have serviceberry bushes along the fence line that are kind of just twigs right now, but they're gonna get bigger. And so I'll have a hedge of serviceberry right here. And we've got a bunch of stuff kind of leaning up against the coop right now because we're trying to protect them from the icy hail snowstorm thing that we had going on in the wind. Everything was just frozen. So we wanted a kind of a protected spot, so we really lined it well. But anyway, that's our chicken coop area. So can you prune lilac now? You know what? Honestly, I don't know. I would assume that you would want to prune lilac right after it blooms because if I remember correctly, lilac blooms on year-old wood. So don't prune lilac in the spring because then you won't have any blooms. Butterfly bush you can prune right now. This huge thing, it comes all the way up to here, right? I'm gonna prune that all the way back, and it will grow all the way back again to how big it is right now in the spring. That's how fast they grow. But if you are doing a butterfly bush, make sure you are planting a sterile variety because they like to spread. And they are considered invasive by a lot of people, so you don't want to do that. You never have blooms from your lilacs? Do you really? Where are you in if you're in zone 7 or above, that might be too warm. Lilacs kind of like it cooler, so maybe that's the problem. No, Clubber, we have We have about 100 that the whole family lives on. But what I plant on is about probably 2 or 3 acres, but spread out. There's a lot of lawn in between. So, and I don't really know. I'm not very good at knowing how big areas are. I know my food forest is 50 by 50. That's the dimensions of the food forest. And then the annual garden, or my herb garden, really, Cassian? Is, I think, 50 by 35 or 50 by 40, something like that. And that's just in raised beds. So just a couple. So yeah, it might be too warm where you are. You can send your plants to me. No, don't eat my plants. This is Cassian. He's a sweetie pie. But he does like to chew on cuttings, which is not okay. Not okay. And then I think you're probably going to see Sawyer hop up here. There's Sawyer in the background. Sawyer used to have a best friend named Finn. And so we had Sawyer and Finn together, which was really sweet. But yeah, my husband and I, we are super blessed to have his family who got together, his mom and dad and his aunts and uncles and his grandparents all got together and decided that they wanted to have a family property. And so they kind of laid the foundation for all this. And then we've been able to reap the benefits. Of course, we are trying our best to help out and put as much work into this as we can and try to add a benefit to us being here as well. And then I'm hoping that my kids one day will want to be here too. They are always welcome to have a spot here. And so I just think life works better when you've got family together. Not together like in the same house, but close by enough where you can support each other when you want to, and space enough where you can have space when you need to. So Helda, hey, good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Oh my goodness. Well, having a lake is awesome. That's fantastic. I would love that. We have a creek, which is really nice. It's kind of a low running creek though, but it is year round, and it's down at the bottom of the mountain. So we have to do a little hike to get there. And then it is a hike to get back. It is never easy to climb that mountain again to get back up here. So we like to drive or use the mule to get down. So which is not an animal mule, it's a vehicle, kind of an all-terrain vehicle to get down. So that is what we like to do. But we love to go down in the creek in the summer. Our dogs used to love going out there. Hey, sweetie. They would always come back in the summer all wet because they had been in the water. But right now we don't have any dogs. We are dogless at the moment, which is really sad. We had a tragic accident happen this winter, and so this is the first time in my whole marriage that we haven't had a dog. But we are in the market for another one because, I mean, you can't really not have one on the homestead. So I think we have decided, because our kids are very persuasive, that the next one that we get will probably end up being a golden retriever, because that's like their dream dog. And anyway, so we're giving in. We're gonna keep our eyes out for a golden retriever puppy. Hopefully one that lives a long time. I can't handle any more heartbreak. Can't do it. Helda! It's Inda. Gosh, I can't remember that. I need to remember that more. Hi, I need to write that down for. Was that the name that you used the other time? Because I definitely did not recognize that name. I'm so glad you're here, Inda. So, yeah, I've got to go pretty soon because my baby's needing me, and we promised the kids we'd go for a walk today since it's so nice. And we've got some nice trails here on the in the woods, and I want to see what's happening out on the property. We haven't been able to go anywhere hardly because this ice snow that we had, I mean, it was like 60, 70 degree days, and the ice was so thick on the snow that that I could still walk on top of it without falling through. And I am not a light girl. I am definitely definitely got some weight to me. But here, let me show you the tool that my husband was using to get through this snow, and it wasn't even working that well. He was having to, like, in order to make pathways, instead of a shovel, because it broke our shovel, right? Let me put this right here. He was using this, which is really heavy, and the end of it, can you see? Looks like that. And he was slamming it into the ground or into the snow and the ice, and it was still not breaking it. I mean, he would have to stand there for a while and just slam that down just to be able to clear a path for us to get to the house or to our cars or to the chicken coop. It was nuts. I've never seen snow like that or ice like that. Okay, well, I need to remember Helda from now on. We'll remember Helda and we'll go, we know it's you, Inda. We know it's you. So I do have to go. Baby's crying. But guys, I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope you get to go outside and enjoy the beautiful weather. If you're in our zone, Inda, I know where you are. You're doing great anyway because you've got the beautiful weather all the time. Yeah. We have a snowblower as well, and it did not work. It didn't. We have a Kubota tractor with a scoop on the front, and then you can also, on the other end, it has a snow plow or prongs, or you can just kind of change it out. But my husband was trying to use that, and it broke the tractor. That's how dense this stuff was. It broke the tractor. The only thing that we had help with getting the driveway was somebody brought in a bobcat, which was on tracks, kind of like a tank, and that was the only thing that could really get through all of this. And even that stopped working after a day. It wouldn't go through it anymore once the ice solidified after that first day. So yeah, I'm a little bit jealous and a little bit jealous. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Inda, come join us sooner. I missed you. And Constance, thank you so much. Clever, it was good to see you. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Get some sunshine. Stay blessed.